web with Mart TV, and this is the Sauer 404 Synchro XT. You're probably aware of the 202, which used to be one of the most popular hunting rifles in Europe and also in the UK. Great rifle, but looking a little bit dated, I think, compared to some of the other Blaser group products. And so Sauer decided about time they, should we say, upgraded it. They've taken what everybody loves about the 202 and put more on it. Some bits I like, other bits not so much. Basically, it's the same layout as a 202, a single column box mag. The Synchro XT has the really nice, it's a synthetic thumbhole stock. It's a switch barrel, therefore switch caliber rifle. The barrel comes off, the bolt comes off, and you can change the bolt head if you need to, given the calibers you're using. It comes with a little universal key, they call the SUS key, which allows you to take off the fore end for barrel changes, also to adjust the trigger weight. The trigger lever is adjustable for length of pull and angle, which is nice. You have an adjustable comb. I tested one of these, I think about 5-6 years ago, and I don't know why, perhaps I didn't test it properly, but I wasn't overly impressed. I've had this now for 2 or 3 months, and I've just been using it a lot more before I decided to do a video. And I've got to say, it's a cracking rifle. I would now consider getting one. Sauer's SUS key, which is like a general use multi-tool for the whole rifle. It sits in the fore end, doubles up as a sling swivel, and that is it. What it has here is a fold down hex key, and the actual body part of the key acts as a lever if you need it. Also, with this removed, Sauer do a spigot bipod attachment, so you can put a bipod there if you want to. Using the SUS key, put it in that hole in the fore end, you can feel it lock in, give it a quarter of a turn, and the whole fore end just pulls off the rifle. With this off, we can take the barrel off and also adjust the trigger. So let's get on with that. The 404 barrel change is near identical to the 202. It's held in by 3 cross bolts. This is called a split front receiver. Basically, it's a friction stroke tension fit. Open the bolt, because the bolt locks directly into the barrel and is part of the retention system. And then all you do with your SUS key, slack off, turn maximum 2 turns if you need to. Okay, and then in that position, you pull down on this lever, which there's a lug that engages in the slot, and simply the barrel comes out. The barrel is keyed in. If you can see here, there's like a cutout. So when you return the barrel, you slide it in, you feel it stop, and then you just rotate it and see it clunk back in. Now, before you do anything else, shut the bolt. The bolt will engage with locking lugs and it will pull the barrel back into position. It's a very important thing to do. So once that's like that, bring the lever up, and then you just wind down on these. I just do it in sequence, so that's nipped. Just nip them all up tight. Anything like this, if you've got more than one bolt, don't wind one down and then do the other. So they're just tucked up tight, and then you put the SUS key back in. And you can feel it when it's tight. According to what I've read, 5 newtons is the actual pressure, but pretty much the key acts a bit like a torque wrench because you can only go so far. And that's the barrel in position. The bolt engages nicely. Once you change the barrel, there should be, hopefully, the ability to return to 0 or as near as 0 that doesn't make a difference. However, it will be a foolish person that just took that for granted. So when we finish doing this, I'll be shooting a group, I'll be taking the barrel off, putting it back on and shooting another group and just seeing what happens with the gun. Trigger adjuster. Essentially, there's 4 positions you can see. 1, 2, 3 and 4 in Roman numerals, hole in the center, and in the center of that is a rotary lever that the little tool can plug into. Currently I've set it on 3. So you just put the key in there, and you move it, and there's a white dot that indicates where you are with it, and it's really as simple as that. In use, I've got to say that I didn't really feel there was a massive difference between the 4 settings. which is 1.2, 1.6, 2.2 and 2.7 pounds. After a lot of mucking about, I decided that 2.2 or setting 3 was the best bet, or 2.7, they're both good hunting settings. But it could be just my finger, but it just didn't seem to show that much difference between the weights. The trigger blade is lovely and curved and quite wide and very lightly grooved, so it's a very good thing for your finger to get on. But Sauer go a stage further. The blade itself can be moved 8mm forward and back to adjust the length of pull of your trigger finger. And also there's a 5-degree offset, so you slack it off, so you can move it forward and back, you can rotate it side to side. And I found that with a bit of mucking about, I preferred the blade almost off to the right and fully forward. It gave me a really nice first pad position. It has a synthetic stock, which is always good. The butt is a thumb hole, as you can see, very nicely made. Rubber inserts here, also in the fore end, rubber insert here, and a decent recoil pad. Underneath is a socket for a QD swivel, the same up front. It's a similar thing to the SUS key. You have an adjustable comb, which is always nice in a rifle. So, once again, our old friend the SUS key goes in. You untwill it, pull it up, and then reclamp it, wind it back into where you need it. Simple as that. A little tip here: if you need to get the bolt out and you've got the comb up, you need to take the comb back down again, otherwise it won't let the bolt go out. The other thing that you can do, which is nice for travelling, is, I won't do it, it's a bit fiddly, well not fiddly, it takes a bit of time. If you look in there, there's an aperture, and inside that aperture is yet another Allen-headed screw that the SUS key fits. You undo that, and this whole pistol grip butt assembly comes off, and Sauer gives some very nice compact carry cases, so you can really get this rifle down to a good distance. That's one of the good things about it. If you can take the butt off, which has zero effect on accuracy, provided you wind it back on properly, and you don't have to take the barrel off for transport, which means it's one less thing to worry about. On the old 202, you had a standard manual safety catch. Not so in the 404. They've gone for a decocker system. The rear of the bolt is this sliding wedge, very similar to how Blaser do it. So basically, when that's down, the gun is locked, and if you want to move it up, just press the button in and ease the cocker up a little bit, and the gun will function. It won't fire, it won't cock. To cock, click your thumb, push up so it clicks, and you can see a red button there. You can fire and recock, and every time you go safe, press the button and it flicks down. It's a good system, and it does make the gun incredibly safe if you're moving from a high seat or crossing a gate or something. Good practice says you unload the rifle, but if you haven't got time, then a decocker means the rifle is not cocked and it cannot go bang, even with a round in the chamber, unless you cock it. This model, the 404, comes in 16 caliber options, what they call standard, 222 Rem, 243 Win, 6.5 by 55, 6.5 Creedmoor, 270 Win, 7 by 64, 308, 30-06, 8 by 57 and 9.3 by 62. In this option, you get 3 different magazine choices. The gun will come with a 3-round single column box mag, which you'll see in a minute. And there's also the option of 5 and an 8. There are also magnum calibers. There's 7mm Rem mag, 300 Win mag, 8 by 68 S, 10.3 by 68 and 10.3 by 60R, which is rimmed, and then 375 H&H. In these magnum calibers, standard capacity is 2 rounds and 1 up the pipe, and an extended one is 4 with 1 up. So to take the magazine out, the button sits in front of the mag well. Just press the button, mag pops out. They're all the same, single column, so longer, shorter. Go back in and lock the magazine in place. You just slide, I don't know if you see that. That's on. Flick it forward like that, and the magazine is locked so you can't lose it. Bolt removal is easy. If you look here, it's a small catch. You open the bolt, put it back, press the catch all the way up, and the bolt comes straight out. Given that the 404 is a switch barrel, switch caliber rifle, the bolt head is removable, which is quite nice. So it means that if you do go from a caliber with a different head size, you don't need to buy a whole bolt, just the head. And here is a pullback catch. like so, and bolt just comes off. Pull it back, put it back on, and it's there. So I've opted on the 404 for a QD system, again similar to Mauser and Blaser. It's simple as two lugs, they fold down like that, and that gives you leverage. Pull up, and it comes off. Simple and quick. Put back on, make sure they're open. Engage it across, like so. And that's it. Sauer tell us in their blurb that the 404 will shoot MOA at 100 meters, which is pretty much an inch. This gun's in 308, so I picked 6 different loads. First one was Barnes Precision Match, which is a 175 grain bullet, boat toe hollow point. Okay, it is a target round. I just wanted to see if they like heavier bullets. That came in at an inch. Then there was RWS 165 grain double core, which is basically, it's a partition style load. That came in at 1.3 inches. The odd one in the group, the RWS Evo Green, which is a non-lead sintered core, and that's a lightweight 136 grain bullet. Some rifles find it too light, but I've got to say the Sauer shot it a very pleasing inch. Then we have Barnes 150 grain Vortex, which is again a non-lead monolithic hollow point. That came in at 1.2 inches. Best of the day was Norma's 170 grain tip strike, which came in at 0.7. And finally the Gecko 165 grain, and again lead-free Star was 1.25 inches. So really, yes, the rifle can shoot 1 inch or better. And I'd happily take all these loads hunting. Obviously my choice would be the tip strike because it's a sub 1 inch group. Okay, if you see, we did the barrel change in and out on time lapse. So I got the rifle bombed up with 3 rounds of Norma 170 grain tip strike, which shooting off a rest was producing 0.7 inch groups at 100 meters. So let's just see if we can get near that again. Okay, let's have a quick look. Group's probably increased by up to an inch, so it's gone from 0.7 to roughly 1 inch, which is not too bad. The good thing is, point of impact is pretty much identical with point of aim. So yeah, the group's increased a bit. It could be me, a number of factors, but basically it's still on aim, it's still on point of impact, and it's only gone for 0.3 of an inch bigger. As far as I'm concerned, if I came out of the aircraft, went to my hunting thing, put the gun back together again, and did have a chance of zeroing. With this gun, I'll be very confident it would shoot an inch at worst. So yeah, it does return to 0. Well, great rifle, but this is, I think, a step forward. The only thing I don't really like, or not like, I think it's a little bit superfluous, is the 4-weight trigger, as I don't think there's enough adjustment there to really rate something like that. I hope you like what you saw. If you did, good or bad, comment. Tell your friends, support the site, and if you want to hear anything from me about anything else, as usual, it's pmore.shootingsports@gmail.com, and I hope to see you in a firing line soon. So take care and good shooting.